working as an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today we are going to discuss a case study on the refrigeration system. So before going to the topic, let us understand what is the need for refrigeration system and what is refrigeration. Okay. So what is refrigeration is, in our day-to-day life, we are in order to preserve the food materials and the vegetables and all other materials, so that we need a system to safeguard this. For this, we are using a refrigeration system. So refrigeration is a process by which the products are maintained at a below a temperature less than the atmospheric temperature. So here the room temperature or the ambient temperature may be around 28 degrees Celsius for an example. So if we want to preserve the food, we have to maintain the temperature lesser than that room temperature. So for this we have to continuously take away the heat from that particular place. So this process is the refrigeration, and the refrigeration, the unit is given in ton of refrigeration, and the performance of the refrigeration system is given as the coefficient of performance. So before going to this refrigeration test, let us see what are the parts, what are the main parts here. So in this, what are the main parts are, so there is an evaporator, and then there is a compressor, and then there is a condenser, and there is an expansion valve. So here what happens, so in the refrigeration, so evaporator is the area where the products are to be stored. For example, if you take our fridge, so we can see inside the fridge we are keeping all the products. Okay. So in that normal evaporator, what we are doing is, so the heat is taken away from that particular place. So that area is called as an evaporator. So what is the use of the compressor is, so the compressor makes the fluid to flow all around the system. Okay. And coming to the condenser unit, so what is the use of the condenser unit is to remove the heat and to make the fluid to the normal position. So this is about the condenser. And coming to the expansion valve, so when the fluid is entering the evaporator, so as it is compressed, so the pressure will be high. So this pressure has to be reduced to the evaporator. So here, so that we are using some expansion devices to reduce the pressure. So these are the main components of the refrigeration test rig. So now let us see what is the need to this refrigeration and all. So if we take in agriculture, today most of the peoples and most of the farmers are having their life with the help of the agriculture products. So what is the problems faced by the farmers is that, say they grow the crops, but when they harvest the crops and then when they go to the market, so at that time what happens is, so there is no enough price for the products. So that what we are doing is, they have to keep for 1 or 2 days to fetch the more price to get a profit. So at that time, this refrigeration plays a very important role. So the vegetables and the products are to be stored in refrigeration systems, where in the cold chambers, where the heat has to be taken out continuously to maintain below the room temperature. So this is how the refrigeration system is useful in nowadays in our real time. So here the main thing what we have to consider is how to make this refrigeration effect very effectively. So here, if you take the refrigeration system, if you take the working, so here we are using a refrigerant. Okay, for example, we are using Freon or tomato, many refrigerant. So this refrigerant should be a eco-friendly refrigerant. It does not be harmful to the environment. That we have to take into consideration. And second one is that when the low boiling point of the refrigerant plays a very important role. At low temperature, it evaporates and converts into vapor. So here, when the liquid refrigerant enters into the evaporator, what happens is, it absorbs the heat and then it is converted into vapor, so that this vapor comes to the compressor, and what happens is at the compressor it pumps the gas or the fluid towards the condenser. So in the condenser what happens is, so it is cooled down and then the pressure is increased because of the compressor, but the state is changed. So the gaseous state is converted into liquid state in the condenser by rejecting the heat to the atmosphere. So now what happens is, here the liquid again comes here. So before entering into the refrigerator, in the evaporator, what we have to do is we have to reduce the pressure. So if you want to reduce the pressure, what happens is we are using some expansion devices. So here what is mainly we have to consider is, if the liquid is in high pressure, then the cooling effect will not take place properly in the evaporator. So here, to get the better cooling effect, we have to reduce the pressure. So that we are reducing the compressor pressure with the use of expansion valves. Okay. So this is one concept. So again coming to the compressors, so there are variety of refrigerant compressors used. So we can use reciprocating, and then we can rotary, centrifugal, screw compressors are used here. So here what we are doing is we are using the electric power to run the whole setup. So mainly to run the compressor. So what we have to do is, in our day-to-day life, the solar energy is playing a vital role, which is abundant in nature. So what we are doing is, by using the solar energy, we can convert the solar power into electrical energy with the help of solar photovoltaic method, and then that direct electrical energy can be used to run the compressors. So what is the main disadvantage of solar energy is, we can't get the solar energy throughout the day. So we can have a separate storage systems. Whenever the solar energy is available, it can be